The reason I'm able to transform people's lives and get results that look like this is because I don't just first focus on basic tactics. Tactics have not worked for you for the longest of point. What I do is go straight to the jugular and attack you at your habits. Your habits are the reason that you look the way that you do. Now, if we break this down into simple terms, your habits are a reflection of your standards. You've done a certain set of things because you're okay with that for the longest period of time. And your standards are built on your self-image. So we've got habits as a reflection of your standards, which are a reflection of your self-image, how you see yourself. So how you see yourself will then give you a reflection of how often you get your hair cut, how long your fingernails are, how many piss stains there are on your toilet seat, how dirty your kitchen sink is right now. All of these are a reflection of your standards. And your standards are built on your self-image. Your self-image has been something that's been created over a long period of time. It's how your friends have seen you and they give you certain nicknames and they see you in a certain way. They expect you to act a certain way because you've acted like that for long enough. Now they've given you that character trait. It's the way your parents have treated you and set you up because of how you've acted. A lot of this though is done from how, what you're willing to accept. If you're willing to accept certain things from certain people, they will treat you as such because you're willing to accept it. So to them, it's like, well, this is how he accepts it, so it's normal. If you don't change these points first, it will be very, very hard for you to actually get in shape because look at this now. You set off to try and get in shape, but you hang around with friends that have always seen you as this out of shape guy. You're going to go out and they're going to say, what do you mean you're not going to have a beer with me? We've not drank in a week. And then you're going to face the pressures of drinking. And because you've never been someone that's said no or said, no, I'm not doing this or actually stood up for yourself, you will just fold. So even though you want to get in shape, your self-image will always let you down because for the longest of time, when you faced a bit of adversity or an uncomfortable conversation, you've not faced it head on or you've ignored it or you've buried your head in the sand and then you've been at the mercy of what the other person wants. And this is why you look the way you do. The amount of members I get come to me and they say, oh, my friends, they want me to drink, they want me to eat, and then they'll challenge me on it. And the issue isn't the friends because you've put yourself in an environment, you've created this character that they expect this character to be. So it's not really their issue. They're just human beings acting like human beings. The issue is because you have not trained yourself to develop a spine and a backbone to actually say no to these things. How do you do that is probably the question you think right now. The way you do this is through looking at cause and effect. You need to be the individual first that will actually be able to stand up and say no to certain things. The way you do this is you level up your own self-respect first. How do you level up your own self-respect? You do things that you say you're going to do. So if you said, I'm going to wake up at 6 a.m. every day for the next 7 days and you do it, you're going to have respect for yourself because you said you were going to do something. 6 a.m. is fucking early. You didn't want to get up there anyway, but you got up every day. Your self-respect will elevate 3 points. Perfect. You've got a little bit more self-respect for yourself. You said you were going to cold shower every day when you woke up. You did that for 7 days straight. It's going to go up a little bit more. You said you were going to just walk 10,000 steps each day. You did that, goes up a little bit more. You said you're going to eat less sugar this week. Let's say you always get ice cream every day, for argument's sake. You cut that out. You say I'm gonna only do this 3 times a week, and you only do it 3 times a week. Again, your self-respect goes up even further. And what the point I'm making here is the only way to really respect yourself is to do something that is actually hard and respectable. Otherwise, you won't respect yourself. Of course, you won't. The only reason people walk around with big egos is because they've done enough to elevate their ego and bring it up to the point. So therefore they walk around that matches the events that they've done. Otherwise, if you're trying to bring it up and you haven't got these things to fall on, you'll just know you're lying to yourself. I'm all for it. I'm all for you deluding yourself into thinking you're going to be something great. I'm all for it. And you will need a little bit of that when you start. But you actually need to do the tangible work and the tangible tactics to bring these points up. So whenever you're doing these little traits, these little tactics, look at these as you are doing little self-image experiments and work on points to just bolster that up for yourself, because you need to develop this so that you can say no to certain people and you can live a certain way. If you've done, let's say you've not seen any of your mates for 7 days and you've done 3 things a day for 7 days, you've got 21 data points. When they say, let's do this, with those 21 data points behind you, you're more likely to say, no, I'm not going to do that. Because you've actually got something to lean on now, whereas before you didn't. So the fact you've got those points, you're more likely to say no. You see where I'm getting at with this? So we must first train the self-image. We must first fix that so we can then fix your standards. Because if you raise your self-image, your standards go up for yourself. When your standards go up for yourself, what you do within the 24 hours also goes up, i.e. your habits. And we want to make this second nature. You can see now how someone could give you a training split, a meal plan, a cardio plan, and a sleep plan and say, do this, 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 and this. But if we don't fix these points first, you're not going to stick to it. You've tried this a million times, and this is why it's not worked. People online will tell you 3 exercises to grow your bicep. They'll tell you that casein's better than whey protein. None of that fucking matters. What matters is your ability to just stick to basic, simple tasks when you say you're going to do something. The reason we get the results we do is because we fix this first. We don't focus, well, we use the basic tactics, of course. How do you think we get results? We do. But we must fix these points first. We must develop how you see yourself first, so you generally believe that you can be someone that has a six-pack. Because if you don't, it doesn't matter how good the plan is, you just won't fucking stick to it because you haven't stuck to it for the longest period of time. That's why you're watching this video. That's why you need this level of advice. And again, I never say these points to be patronizing. I say this to the point to be literal, to say, take this and do exactly, this is what we're doing to get results like this. So copy us and go and do it at home for yourself. And again, obviously, if you want us to actually physically do this for you and keep you accountable, then obviously there'll be a link in the description. Come and join us. That is our half your battle as well. You're also not accountable to anyone. So no one knows if you did or didn't do the right thing. Obviously, you know. And every time you don't do it, degrades your character, self-image, the full 9 yards. But if you actually tell someone, and it's someone that will challenge you, and it's someone that knows your ego, and it's someone that knows to trigger you, you'll be a hell of a lot more accountable. You'll definitely not want to be in a position where they've got you because you didn't do something. That alone will propel you forward many, many steps because you're fighting against someone. It's always good if you tell someone on an equal level to you as well that you can actually compete with to get to a six-pack level. A lot of you don't want to compete because you know you lied to yourself. But if I put you in a position where it's you and a close friend and you're both going like playing off it against each other, you will work a lot harder, right? You will work significantly harder because you don't want to lose to this individual because you probably already think you're a little bit better than him. But if he starts pushing in front of you, then you'll have a humble beginning and you'll need to get to it. So this is an important point that we mix. So look at it like this. Everything can be changed. Everything about you, the way you are right now, your shape, your habits, your mindset, it can all be changed. Your first intro to this is actually just looking at yourself and thinking, yeah, you know what? If I look like this, it's clearly a reflection of what I do on a day-to-day. And what I do on a day-to-day is clearly a reflection of the thoughts that go on in my brain. So what I'm telling you is, at this point, just any thoughts you get, just fucking ignore them. Just stick to everything I've told you to do in this video, because I can see you, I can see the garden fence, i.e. the gate you want to walk through, but at the minute you've got loads of weeds in the middle of your garden, you're trying to walk through it. I'm stood in the middle, I can see you, I can see the gate, and I know the path that you should take. You can't because you've not walked this path, and the weeds are friend that thinks you're going to fail at this and is always going to call you names. That's one weed. You've got your incessant craving for sugar. That's another need. You've got your need for wanting to just lounge around. You've got your weed that resembles you don't really like to do that hard of things. You've got all these things, and the weeds are inside your brain. Obviously this garden is your brain. And what I'm saying is you want to ignore all this because I can see the path that you need to go on. So you need to get rid of all that stuff out of your head. You need to walk straight through the garden gate and only listen to what I say when you go through step by step by step. I'm giving you the roadmap. I'm giving you the bricks to follow. It's through fixing how you see yourself, which will then raise your standard, which will then raise your habits. And to do all of this, you just set basic tasks. So let's give you some action steps to push forward off this video. Let's say you're in a position now, you've watched this video, you're like, yeah, fine, cool, you've got some fair points. I'm anywhere from 20% to 30% body fat, and I actually want to get in shape, but I've tried many times and it doesn't happen. All you're going to do from this point forward is you're going to get a calendar for 30 days. You're going to write down just 3 things to begin with, and you're just going to do those 3 things only. I suggest you do them in the morning because your willpower will be a lot higher, and we want you to actually get some wins on the board. So set 3 basic things. This could be you're going to wake up at 6, you're going to have a litre of water, you're going to walk 10k steps each and every morning. You're just going to do that for 30 days. I guarantee after about 14 or so days of that, you'll start to level up what you've been doing, because naturally human beings, we chase progression. That's what actually makes us feel good. It's not the overall victory that makes you feel good, it's just continuous progression is what's going to make you feel good on a daily basis. So naturally, I'm like tricking you to just do this, you'll end up doing more anyway. But just start with these basic points, because if you can do this and you can get those points for 30 days, 3 times, it's like 90 data points to prove that you can be this individual. And at this stage of the game, we just need you to believe that you can. Therefore, this is why we get this evidence on the board. So that's your action step. Go and apply that straight away. Once you've done it for 30 days, you can come back to this video, comment, and I'll actually give you some respect for doing it. If you want to come join us at the Gorilla Too, then there'll be a link in the description. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you tomorrow.